Shift and Q. Control, Shift, Q. We'll try that. All right. Well, we are recording now, and you should be able to see. I know it's a little bit odd looking, but here's our lecture. We're doing the lecture for Design 320. It's Thursday, March 11th, and we've really kind of covered everything. So I want to talk about site plans in general and how you're going to use the Jamboard for your collaboration exercise. So I did put on the Jamboard, on the discussion board, a new discussion, and it goes to this Jamboard. So let's see what the discussion board says. Let me come up here, look at the discussion board. Not as clean as it normally looks, but that's okay. And make it as big as I can get it. So here's our next discussion. It's where to put your lid features, low impact design, right? That's low impact design. And yes, and so Natalia also asks a question about what goes on which slides. So I'll be able to, yes, I will definitely take care of that today. All these little features pop up that you don't normally have to see, but there we go. All right, so first of all, there's a Jamboard to go to, and I'm going to close that one up because I've got it open. And once you go to that Jamboard, you'll make a new tab on the sheet and post your existing site plan. Now, you have to save your site plan as an image file. That's a BMP bitmap, a PNG, portable network graphic, a JPEG, a TIFF, a GIF, something like that. So once you get a copy of your site plan, you have to save it as an image and then put it on there. And so once you see some people's on there, I want you to go and review the post, find two colleagues, review the ports, and mark up their Jamboard to show good locations for something, a swale, a retention pond, a sheet flow diverter. For, you know, put a couple of things on there and put your name and your comments on there. So I'm going to demonstrate that now. Here's mine, but I'm going to demonstrate going over here to the create a new frame, and also my little pointer doesn't work like normal either, so I hope you can see what's going on. I'm gonna, but there we go, and I'm gonna browse for it, and I think it's in my downloads. Now I don't know where it is. Is it on my desktop? My instructor files maybe. There it is, Project 2 Site Plan Existing, or I think I've even got one in here, New Construction, Site Plan. So I'll just pull one of those up. And there we go, and we've got a new one, and I can bring it up here, and I can make it bigger. And once you've got one of yours in there, you're going to go to this little tab over here. I don't think it shows me over here. It only shows on here. But there's a little tab over here that says sticky note, and I'll put this as drawn by. And I can put my initials or my name or something like that, but you'll do that. And kind of, you can move it over and make it small or make it big, however you want. Get this as big or as small as you can. Okay. And so you're gonna make yourself one of these, a new frame, right? And if you click up here, you'll see everybody's frames. So I'm gonna delete mine now because I've already got one, and we just don't need extras. And then I'm gonna demonstrate what you should do for other people. I'm demonstrating on my own, but for other people. So first of all, it's gonna ask me, or I'm gonna put down, well, where would it be a good place to put a swale? And remember, a swale is where water runs off and it collects in a place where it can seep in slowly. And there's probably an overflow. So I probably want that at a low part of my property. And this is the lowest part of the property. This is the highest part of the property. So the water is going to flow this way. And I know I'm probably going to have a big chunk of concrete here. So if I put it over here, I'll need a drain under my concrete, but that's okay. And I might even make my concrete drain that way. Oh, that's kind of a cool idea. Maybe I would put it here. But it's also sometimes nice to put them in the front, and sometimes it's nice to protect the back so that it doesn't flow this way. So there's lots of places you could put a swale. You might even put like a retention pond right here, a round one. Okay? And if you were going to dig it a few feet deep, you could actually take runoff from kind of anywhere and put it here, or maybe you put more than one on. Lots of things that you can do. So you just want to think it through, and you're going to put a note. You're gonna draw something, and I'll draw it in green because green seems like swale. So I'm going to draw that, and then I'm going to maybe I'll use the highlighter brush here. And I'll put a sticky note there, swale. There. So and then I want to put my name on it. That way somebody knows who wrote that. I'm going to make it as small as I can get. There we go. That really got messed up. There we go. And I bet you I can bring that to the front. Order. Wow, I can't. It's just stuck there. So let me move it off of it. Wow, I can't get it out of there. Come on, get out of there, get out of there. Well, that's what Control Z is for. There we go. So I can just, when I got that small, it got really hard to work with. But that's okay. There we go. Got it. Okay. So Olivia asked, can you just use a screen grab? And the answer, unfortunately, is no. It only lets you add an image from a file. If you've got it in your Google Drive, if you take a screen grab and put it in your Google Drive, you can get it there. Oh, I guess you can get it from a camera. Let's see. No, that's going to take a picture from my camera. I don't think it lets you just do a snip. But if you take a snip, you can just go File, Save As, which is what I did, and put it somewhere. Okay, so that's how I did it. There's how to stop it. So I took my snip, and then I did a File, Save As from that. Does that answer that, Olivia? Yes, says got it. Good. Okay. Boy, you sure has lots of annoying little notifications. I'll have to figure out how to turn those off on a Chromebook. Okay, so that's the type of thing you're going to do. And you should make 2 or 3 notes about it and then move on to somebody else's. Now, you don't want to put too many on, right? But somebody else might put a swale over here. Somebody else might put one over here. So there's lots of things that you can think about. And the reason we're doing this is you might want to think about changing your new construction after you see some of this. Where would you like to put it? Okay. So that's how you're going to operate this. And I'd like you to go ahead and do it. The share link is right here for you. Okay, there's the share link. You can go there and then put your name on the comments. So that's that, and I'd like to have that done. Did I say when to do this by? I didn't, so I'd better fix that. Okay, so I'd like to have that done before lecture on Tuesday of next week. All right? Does that kind of make sense? So post your existing site plan. If you accidentally post your new construction, that's okay. That won't be an issue. All right, so let's go and take a look now and see what goes where. What goes where. So that means I have to go back and get my submittal, excuse me. So here's my submittal. And so the question is, what goes on each page? Well, this page you know, and this page you know, so those ones are pretty straightforward. So what goes on 8.2.1? 8.2.1. And let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. So this is where your research goes. So you notice I gave you on the page that has a ton of stuff on it, the project requirements page, which is in the assignments, project requirements page. At the bottom, there's just a bunch of stuff. And I want to see that you're well read and have taken some time to investigate what this stuff means. Okay, so there's no specific thing. It's just show me that you are well read and that you sort of have an idea of what this urban runoff control is and what the 5 principles are and which principle that we're going to be working with and what some of these things look like and how you might apply them on your site. So it's research. It's just good background knowledge. Okay, and so I'm flipping back and forth a little bit here because normally I can see everything at once and today I can't. I know I'm presenting. I got to figure out how to turn that silly thing off. I'll get to that. Let's see. Open, focus, don't show app. I don't show number of new. Yeah. I just want to stop notifying me. So that goes on your research page. Okay. Show that you are well read about low impact design and why it's there and how you do it and what some of the principles are. Okay, so that's page 8.2.1. Page 8.3.1 would be your existing site plan. So that would essentially be this thing right here without the notes, an existing site plan. And how you do it doesn't really matter. It should kind of say that this is 63.5 feet long at the bottom and 160 along the top and 75, and that this is 115 at north 3 degrees west. So just something kind of like it. Does it need these little labels? No. Does it need these lines? Actually, it doesn't. That's a topo plan, not a site plan, but I left them on there anyway. It should show kind of where the building is and maybe how big the pad is, and it should show where the trees are and where your existing walkway is. Okay, that's actually a driveway, but we're going to turn it in my new construction into a driveway, a walkway. Okay, so this would go on that page. So I could go Control C. I think Control C works on a Chromebook. Control V. It did not. Okay, so it's interesting how different things work differently on File, Edit, Copy. Let's see if that does it. And Edit, Paste. There we go. You just got to, I tell you, every little one is different, right? So that's pretty much what's going to go there. And then the next part is pretty straightforward too. There we go. Plan view with the building dimensions. Oh, well, I can just do that again then. Let me paste another one in there, but I'm going to crop it this time. To show the building dimensions. There we go. And I know this is going to be a little bit hard to see. But there it is there. And then indicating demolition of the driveway. So I'm going to take another piece of that, edit, paste, and I'm going to crop it down. Now, your design might not actually do this. Your design might reuse the driveway like mine did. But I'm doing this just so that you understand what a demolition drawing is. And now I can do like a little text box. And I can put my caps lock on. Where is my caps lock on this? Is this it? Nope. I don't even know where my caps lock is on this device. Ha! Okay, so remove. Oop, I have that printing there. Move driveway prior to new construction. That's kind of like what a demolition tag says. And of course, I'm going to make those smaller because they don't need to be that big. Something like that would be just fine. And I could spell construction right. There we go. And then you point an arrow at it. And I don't remember which way arrows go. Let's see if they go that way. No, I think I got it back. Oh, I did get it right. There. Okay, so is that making sense there? So yes, so Natalia goes, oh, I don't need actual real drawings, just pictures with notes. Yes, we will put them on sheets at another time, maybe. But that's really documentation versus conceptual design visualization. And I'm just trying to get some of this stuff across. So Natalia's question is that, do we need to put it on an actual sheet, like with a title block or a heading or something like that? And the answer is no, just the images. And then, so that's how you would do that one. And the next one, and of course, I'm doing this right on top of everything, so I'll go back and I'll eliminate this. Site plan with the commercial renovation. So that is your new construction showing the extra 15 feet on the building, the parking lot, the lighting, and the sign. Okay, and over here, it would be the same thing. Just show the building expansion, much like it'll look like this, really, except it'll be 15 feet longer. Okay, and down here, a plan view of the parking area and building access. So that's essentially just like this view. Okay, but it'll be big enough to show both. Whatever access you've got to the building on whichever side it is and where your parking is. Okay, and then of course you know how to do this one, not one you already know how to do. So that's your week 8. And at the end of this week, you are halfway done with the course. And you're actually more than halfway done with the course because I think we've got 2 more projects left. And so that's kind of cool. Do we have 3? I think we have 2 more projects left. Okay. And you guys are doing just really, really good work. So that is pretty much, I think, what I wanted to cover. Let me go back and check and see. Use the Jamboard, and then I just went over that. Are there any? Yeah, Olivia says, man, that goes by fast. It does. It does. And I think, you guys, that we have a spring break from the 29th through the 4th of April. So that'll be nice. My goal is always to leave you with 0 work to do during that period. I think spring breaks are supposed to be spring breaks, not spring work like crazy to cram a whole bunch of stuff in. So the goal is that you won't have any work to do over the spring break. Cool? So May, do you have a question? Yeah. Okay, so let's go over what is due then. All right, that's a good question. Thank you. And I'll clarify that for you. So I'm going to go ahead and turn your mic off. So what is due? All right. So what is due is this. You look at this, and this is what's due. So you do need to turn in your week 8 template. That is due. So 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are all due. Okay. But the discussion board, because I was late with it and we don't really need it until next week, the discussion board, this part, is due on Tuesday of next week. So I'll go fix that up so that it says it right. And remember, yesterday I said, don't worry about it if it's not done. And you don't need to, right? It's not due this week. The discussion board is due on the 16th. However, all of this is still due. This thing is still due on Sunday. That's your week number 8. And it's Project 2, Part 1. Okay? And it's kind of funny because I'm asking for site plans. Now, to make the site plans, you have to make a 3D model, kind of. And so you'll get a lot of work done. You'll get your model done. Now, remember, I've showed it to you in 2 fashions. One way doing it in SketchUp and one way doing it in Revit. You only do one of those. All right? You pick which one you want to do, whether it's SketchUp or Revit. And then next week, we'll continue the project to add those low impact design components. That's why I'd like to have the markups done by Tuesday so that we can look through them and get lots of good ideas about what it looks like. Okay? Does that answer your question, May? Was that too much and unclear, or was it okay and clear? Okay, good. Good. Okay. So Okay, cool. So there we go. And so I think that's really it for my lecture. So I'm going to go, unless somebody needs a demonstration of something. Is everybody okay with, I am able to run on this silly little Chromebook because I'm on VMware. I am able to do Revit and I'm able to do SketchUp. Not very well because it's a tiny little screen, but I can do it if anybody needs a little bit of a demonstration or anything. We've got a little bit more time. Or are you all going, no, I just want to get out of here. Get me out of here. Yes, May. Uh-huh. No, you can't. No. Look, this is it's what's called a commercial That's why there's an existing. You can't just pick up a house and move it. I mean, nobody would. That would cost thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for no real use. This is an existing site that you're doing a commercial renovation for. So no, you have to work with what's already there in this project. Now there are some things, it's not too hard to break concrete and bulldoze dirt around. You're welcome to bulldoze dirt around. But remember, along this front row up here, there's a street over there. And so this elevation and this elevation, which I hope you can see, I don't have it set for my little mouse pointer thing. I'll get that set soon. But these elevations are set, so you can't really bulldoze along the front, but you could maybe, all of these elevations are set, but you could move dirt around inside there. But the building is the building. It's there. And this is very, very, very common when you do what's called a commercial renovation. And it's one of the most common types of renovation that is done. Somebody owns or sells a residence, and the area is being changed and transformed a little bit, and somebody has a good idea on how to make some money out of it, out of turning it into a business. And so that's the purpose of what we're doing here. Plus, we're working with low impact design principles. And believe it or not, this site is very good. Now, this site is just by luck. It's totally by luck, because we've been using this example for probably 30 years in the department. It is almost identical to a site on Olive Drive and in Davis. And that site on Olive Drive last summer, I picked up about 4,000 bricks from the place because it was going through a commercial renovation. And I'm telling you, the site plan is almost the same. Where the driveway is almost the same. And that whole area is being renovated. They're putting up condominiums all around it. But there's an open area requirement. And so this site is actually being turned into the management office in the middle of a great big kind of like apartment complex area. So that's kind of cool. And it's not perfectly the same. They bought everything all around. And I think this open area will go to about here. So this area will be open area. And I think this all gets paved over here to swing around the back. There's railroad tracks back here. And to swing around the back side. And then over here, it's really weird what's in there. It's like they carved this out of an existing place. So there's a trailer park that comes around over here that's all being bulldozed and stuff. So this idea of commercial renovation is super common, and it just so happens, I think it's so cool that a place that's not, less than 5 miles from me is almost identical to this thing that we've been doing for 30 years in our department. So cool. But that was a good question, May. I'm sorry that my answer has to be no. Darn. Okay. Other good questions, but that's really good. Always, right? So what is that doing? You always check the program requirements, right? Always, always, always. And so that's an excellent question. You always have to be clear about what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do. So you should always, always ask questions like that when they come up. Any other questions? I'm going through here. Okay. So I think we're in pretty good shape. Just as an aside, Brenda, I need to get with you and see where we're at on your project. I'm a little bit booked today, maybe tomorrow, but let's make sure that we meet like by Monday or Tuesday of next week if we can. If you're available, it's hard to be available sometimes. Rokai, yeah. Oh yeah. I was just saying that we need to check in on your project for Design 498 at some point. We need to get together because I've been. Okay, perfect. That sounds great. Okay, and then just as another aside, Rokai, I've got your site transmitted to Tristan, and we should see that site in 3D soon. So that'll be cool. Okay, I'm going to try to stop the recording.